In today's reading, we are going to be looking into what is it that is about to arrive that you have been waiting for. So very, very exciting stuff. I'm super thrilled for this reading and I hope that you are too. So stay tuned for those messages to see what is ahead for you. But yeah, let's get right into it. We have 3 piles to choose from for today's reading and they go as such. This card represents pile number 1. This card represents pile number 2, and this card represents pile number 3. If you already know exactly what pile you wish to watch, then go into the description box and you can click on the timestamp that you need. But if you are not sure how to choose, then it's just a few of my recommendations. First, try and get rid of any distractions around you. If you could get to a quiet place or just take a few deep breaths and close your eyes, calm yourself down as much as possible, get into this present moment and just sense whatever is coming up for you, what you can feel, what you can hear, what sort of images or symbols or numbers pop into your mind. You can be drawn to anything, a visual, a color, the animal, again, the element or the number. Trust that your intuition is pulling you towards the right direction, but also please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And without further ado, let's get into it. Hello and welcome to your reading pile number 1. My name is Helen and I am so happy that you are here watching this reading and spending this time with me. So thank you. But let's get right into it. So you chose this horse card and we also have some pre-prepared oracle cards, but I'm going to leave them for just a bit later because I want to feel my way through this image first and see what I am intuitively picking up for you, pile number 1. So the first sort of words that are popping into my head with this card are quiet strength or quiet power. It feels like you are in this very unassuming energy right now where you seem to be just sort of doing your own thing and, you know, not really getting stuck in any dramas, not really bothering to waste your energy on anything that isn't helpful to your future goals, to your journey that you are on right now. Anything that isn't conducive to your growth and to your sort of betterment of your life. I feel like you are not getting involved in any of that. You seem to be very much on track and very much focused on the true most meaningful goals and aspirations that you have for yourself. And they don't have to be anything big. They don't have to be anything sort of flashy or ambitious like career-wise or money-wise. They don't have to be material like that at all, even though for some of you they definitely are. But I feel like they can be in a spiritual sense or in the sense that you are trying to be the best possible version of yourself for your family or for your spouse, or maybe you are working hard on your family relationships. Maybe you are just working hard on, you know, yourself and figuring out how to get yourself to a better place, because I feel with the moon that is on this sort of third eye position that you seem to be very much aligned with some sort of higher purpose, or yeah, there's just a lot of alignment here. And I feel like, as I said, you seem to be doing things in your own terms, on your own timetable, not really getting involved with other people too much, or not really getting stuck in like the external things. I feel like you are just in a very sort of powerful and empowered place, or at least you are getting there. You are moving towards that space. And I feel like other people can really feel that about you as well. There seems to be something that is almost untouchable about you, or yeah, it's almost like you are exuding this sense of confidence and power and determination, and it just feels like you are in such a secure spot right now. And yeah, there's something very like high vibrational about this energy, pile number 1. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Oracle cards have to say, because we are going to be looking into what is the current energy that you are in. So as you are listening to these messages, hopefully you will recognize yourself and your current circumstances, and that will make sure, or help you to make sure, that you are watching the right pile. So if you are kind of iffy about the intuitive messages, then stay tuned for this part. Hopefully it will all become a lot more clear. Okay, so we have the Miser, stubbornness, inflexibility. We have angel numbers, confirmation. Okay, we have just an intuitive card. We also have the 10-90 ratio, the Sentinel, determination and certainty. Oh, determination. It actually says determination. Okay. Pile number 1. I am getting so many confirmation cards from this Oracle card section. And I want to start off with this stubbornness and inflexibility, because it is actually not a bad thing at all, even though I feel like the word miser isn't like the best. It doesn't have the most nice connotations to it. But with this stubbornness and inflexibility, I just feel like this is talking about you not being willing to bend on these sort of goals or these plans that you have, this journey that you are on. You seem to be very much fixated on what it is that you are trying to achieve, or what are the main focal points for you right now. What is it that you feel like called to do, or you feel, what is it that you feel this inner pull towards? And it seems to be something very, very strong. And so that's why I feel like this inflexibility and stubbornness is actually a good thing, because I feel like it is keeping you in line. It is keeping you on this trajectory that you are moving towards. And I feel like you are on this trajectory towards success, pile number 1, because there is just something so sort of convinced and so powerfully aligned about this place that you seem to be in. And I mean, we even have this angel numbers confirmation. Now, this is literally the card of like spirit affirming that you are on the right path and giving you little notifications or little signs and synchronicities to let you know. And so clearly the whole message of you doing something very aligned, or something that is almost like this soul call, or something that is coming from this deeper part of you. So that's why I feel like for a lot of you, these things that you are going after, or these things that you are working towards, are not necessarily driven by like ego-driven matters. You know, they are not driven by money or the need to attain some sort of a higher status, you know, anything like that. They seem to be driven by purely this deeper desire or this deeper pull to do something. It's almost like you feel that you need to do this, whatever this thing is that you are doing. Again, this could be, you know, work on yourself. You could be trying to heal or grow or better yourself in some sort of skill set or knowledge base. You could be, again, working on your relationships, or you could be doing something creative, like working on a project. You could be trying to build your own business. You could be trying to get better at what it is that you do for work or something like that. So it just feels like it is coming from a very pure place, and that's why I feel like this angel numbers card is here. Now, we also have this image, which is so funny, because I kind of had to sit with this one for a while and really figure out what is pulling my attention the most. And interestingly enough, I feel like this little creature here, this seems to be like spirit, or I don't know, your spirit guide or something like that, because the way that they are pulling this little boy up, that feels to be your energy, by the way. And I feel like you are just in this space right now where you have this higher vantage point. It's almost like spirit is helping to elevate you, is helping to allow you to see more clearly where you need to go, what sort of moves you need to make next, And even though you may not be able to see like the heart of that labyrinth, you may not be able to see where this journey is specifically going to lead up, but I feel like you can very clearly see the next moves, feel some sort of, again, this divine pull towards what it is that you are meant to be doing. And again, I feel this betterment energy with this 10-90 ratio. For some reason, whenever I use this deck, this card seems to keep wanting to come out all the time. I don't know what it is about that. But anyway, with this card's energy, it's clear that you are trying to work smarter, not harder. And you are working towards getting the most benefits or getting the most results and rewards for the least amount of effort. So it's almost like you are, again, working out the best way to do something. And finally, we have this Sentinel card, which says determination and certainty. Yeah, so clearly this is just a huge confirmation about you being in this space where you are so on point, where you are so focused, and I feel like nothing can really distract you or deter you from your path right now. Again, with certainty, it's almost like you have this deeper knowing. You can't possibly explain it to other people. You can't possibly rationalize it, why you feel this strong pull towards the things that you are doing, or why you even believe that you are on the right path, you are doing the right things, and that you are going to get to where you need to go. There is something very deeply assured about this place that you are in right now, especially like mentally, but I feel like there are all these other intuitive places within you that you can sense that are telling you that you are on the right path, and that are almost like guiding you or helping you navigate next moves and decisions. So yeah, I also kind of get this image of you possibly not being the most social right now. Pile number one, you could be in a place where you are so focused on doing this thing, or your energy is so sort of aligned that, even if you have people, friends, family members, or something like other people who are not necessarily involved in the thing that you are working on, if you have people like asking you out or inviting you to certain things, or even like, I don't know, entertainment events and stuff like that, I feel like you don't really have time for those right now, or you are not necessarily the most easily reachable or accessible in the sense, because yeah, it's almost like you are just so laser focused on what it is that you are doing. So there's some sort of like divine propelling that I feel that you have, almost like the universe is supporting you or pushing you or helping you to move towards your goal. But anyway, if this at all sounds familiar to you, pile number one, then most likely you're watching the right pile, and stay tuned because now we are getting to the juicy stuff. So we are going to look at what is about to arrive that you have been waiting for. So what can you get ready for? Okay. Wow, we have the Queen of Swords, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse, and we have the Four of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. We have some heavy air sign energy, especially Libra with this Queen of Swords, but Gemini or Aquarius could also be relevant, and I'm just pointing out the signs in case you resonate with them yourself or you recognize them around you. Okay, so pile number one, I feel that for a lot of you, what you have been waiting for is some sort of answer, some sort of reply, some sort of decision to be made. Because, I mean, we have the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And now, very often the Eight of Wands feels like it is tied to communication, or it is tied to some sort of incoming news, or something sort of moving rapidly towards its culmination point. And so whichever context this is specifically for you, it is definitely rapid movement forward, and it is going to be incoming quite suddenly, I almost feel like. But the Eight of Wands is a very, very auspicious card in the sense that it is indicating that you are going to be moving towards or arriving at a destination that you have been hoping to arrive at. So this is sort of you being very close to that end goal, or reaching that sort of milestone that you have been working towards. Now, the reason why I say that for some of you, or at least for a lot of, actually I should say for a lot of you, I feel like this is some sort of communication that you have been waiting for, or some sort of confirmation or answer, or some sort of green light or something like that. Because with the Queen of Swords, someone has to make a decision on something, and it's almost like you have been waiting for it. With the Queen of Swords, as I said, this is a card of Libra, but it can also be tied to Aquarius or Gemini. And it feels like this is an energy outside of you for some reason. It feels like this is someone else. It doesn't have to be female, even though this is a queen. This is just feminine energy. This could be the person that you are tied to when it comes to, like, if you have a relationship scenario at hand. So this could be this family member or this person that you are dealing with. Regardless of who this person is specifically, I feel like they have some sort of power, or they have some sort of position of authority where they have to have some sort of say, or they have some sort of final say in something. And I feel like they are going to be replying or answering favorably, because we have the Eight of Swords that came out in reverse next to it. So whatever has been holding you back, or whatever sort of situation has been stuck, or making you feel like the situation is kind of out of your hands, that is going to be sort of cut through, that is going to be removed or put an end to. So things are definitely going to be moving ahead from this point. Again, if this is some sort of project, if this is some sort of work or career thing, then I feel like this Queen of Swords could be someone who, again, is in a position of authority, and I feel like they're going to make a decision that is going to help you to sort of proceed or move forward in the way that you have been hoping to. And I also feel with this Four of Coins that you are going to be solidifying something. And I also feel a lot of like safety and security coming through this card. So this seems to be your energy. So I feel like you are securing something, or you are getting like a solid base or solid foundation for, again, whatever this is that you are doing. If this is a relationship, then I feel like you are creating more of a secure, solid foundation for that relationship. If this is some sort of work or career thing, then it seems to be that you are acquiring what it is that you need. Again, this could be, you know, if you have been waiting for someone to give you the green light on moving ahead with a project, or giving you some sort of financial support, or confirming the budget for something, then that seems to be sort of going through here. Again, if this is talking about some sort of personal development that you are doing, then it just feels like you are going to be able to move out of certain hindrances or certain things that have possibly made you feel a bit stuck, feel a bit stagnant, feel like you don't really know which way to go, or you know, if you have been in a bit of a lower vibrational state or something like that, if you have been more in a negative space previously to doing this work, then that seems to be coming to an end, because the Four of Pentacles is a very steady, very secure, very safe place, and it's almost like you are protected from all angles. That's what I'm feeling here. So this feels really, really auspicious, pile number one. And I feel like, again, whatever context this is speaking about specifically for you, I'm just giving you all of these different examples or different scenarios in case something like clicked for you. But obviously use your discernment and put in the sort of the details for yourself. But I love this Eight of Wands, and I love this Four of Pentacles for you, because it feels like you are getting sort of a move on, or you are progressing, and you are progressing in a direction that you really want to progress. And I feel like you're going to start feeling a lot more steady, a lot more sort of protected or stable, especially possibly after a period of having to like go off of blind faith, or having to navigate your way purely based on like intuition, or this inner knowing. And it seems like maybe outside of you haven't had that much confirmation, or you haven't had that much support, like physical support to rely on. But I feel like that is sort of ending now, because with the Four of Pentacles. which is very much like a physical manifestation of being secure. So anyway, let's get into the other question and see what else is it that you need to know about this incoming energy. Okay, so we have, I'm just kind of going over the cards here because as always I managed to mess them up. We have the Tower, which is a card of Mars, so we have some Aries and Scorpio that can be relevant. We also have the Ace of Swords, so more air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have the Seven of Cups and we have the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so first off, I want to start off with the Tower because this one made me literally chuckle because I think I used the word unexpected. As I said, I had this feeling with the Eight of Wands that this progression is going to come in like almost out of the blue, almost like unexpectedly. This, again, either this communication or this answer or, you know, things starting to move ahead or you reaching some sort of place of like security or just getting the green light again. For some reason that keeps coming up. But with the Tower, it's clear that this thing is going to take you by surprise. This thing is going to arrive kind of like out of the clear blue sky, so to say. And it's going to be one hell of a shakeup. But I feel like it's going to be in a very positive sense because right alongside the Tower, we have the Ace of Swords that came out. These two cards came out together. So I'm actually going to show them to you together, would make more sense. So we have the Ace of Swords that also came out. And that is a card of victory. That is a card of breakthrough. That is a card of truth, alignment, success. And this is like hard-won success. So as I said, I feel like the journey hasn't necessarily been easy because you have had to navigate things, I feel like kind of on your own, or it feels very solitary. Again, as I was saying with this horse image, it feels like you have been sort of doing your own thing and keeping more so to yourself or working like behind the scenes, like quietly and in an unassuming way, right? But with the Ace of Swords, it feels like you are going to get the sort of, again, the success or get this breakthrough moment that you have been waiting for. And it is, again, in alignment with the truth, with what is right for you, with what is even meant for you, I want to say. Now, we also have the Seven of Cups. And I feel like with this card, Spirit is saying that this sort of breakthrough or this milestone that you are reaching is going to open up a lot of doors for you, a lot of new opportunities. So it's almost like you are reaching a point of security, but then after that, you are going to have some more decisions to make, most likely, because there are going to be sort of new things that are cropping up for you and new avenues that you can possibly move in. So this feels very, very positive, I have to say. I don't always like the Seven of Cups type energy because it can be a bit like flimsy or untrustworthy or even like illusory in some sense. But I do like it in this instance because at the bottom of the deck, we also have the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles is as solid as they come. This is further confirming that you are building something that is very sturdy and something that is kind of like long lasting. I feel like you are setting yourself up for the future in a very, very positive sense. And because this card often talks about collaboration or doing things with other people, having some sort of external energy involved in what it is that you are doing, I feel like you are going to start seeing support around you as well. So, you know, especially if up to this point, it has very much been like a solo effort type of thing, or where you have had to put in a lot of the work, then it feels like things are going to start sort of opening up or easing up for you. And as I said, there are some sort of new opportunities that are coming in, and those new opportunities could be coming through other people. So it feels like you are not going to have to bear the load like completely by yourself or shoulder everything yourself anymore. It feels like you are going to have assistance in some way. And I feel like things are kind of moving in a very exciting, but also in a very like reliable way next. And I feel like it's something that is something that you have been sort of like hoping for or waiting for, in the sense that even though you seem to be very much on track and you seem to be very like focused and determined, I feel like there is a part of you that is also somewhat like tired, or that wants a break from this period of time where you have had to like navigate things based on intuition or something like that. So I feel like this time where things are more solid, where things are more secure, when things are more like predictable even, I want to say, I feel like that's something that you are very much welcoming, or will very much welcome. So yeah, that's kind of what's coming through here, pile number one. So get ready to have some sort of surprise movement, and to have new doors opening up for you, and a lot more clarity in like the rational external sense as well, not just internally, if that makes sense. But I want to close the reading out with an oracle card, and I have to say I love this oracle card deck, so I wanted to use it again. I just recently used it in another reading, but I love this deck, so we're using it again today. And this is the Little Frog's Guide to Self-Care. And we are getting a message of advice from Spirit to close this reading out. So let's see what Spirit has to say to you. Oh, wow. You got 3 cards. Okay. Let's keep the 3, because we already have more than I was planning for. So, okay. Oh, I love this first card for you, pile number 1. It says, I don't always have to be strong. I am allowed to ask for support. So yeah, this cute little affirmation, I feel like, is very much on the nose about this 3 of coins energy specifically. Because as I said, I feel like we just talked about it at the last sort of part of the reading, and clearly this is a very important point, because yeah, support is available to you, and I feel like it is going to become even more easily available to you. Yeah, you don't always have to be strong. I feel like it's such a cute little reminder. Even when I am struggling, there is undeniable magic that exists within me. Exactly. So I feel like that undeniable magic is like your intuition, or this inner knowing that seems to be very, very highly tuned. And it's something that you can always rely on. And it's something that you have been relying on. So as I said, this quiet strength that you have about you, that other people, again, most likely other people have no idea how hard you have been working, how much you have been putting in effort behind the scenes, because you are just sort of carrying yourself in such an effortless way that it kind of fools people into thinking that you never have a hard time or things just sort of come easy to you. And so maybe that's why people don't necessarily offer their help to you either, because they kind of think that you don't need it. Anyway, let's keep going. So the last card that you have is, I thank my body parts. Example, I am thankful for my hands and for all the ways they help me. This is such a cute one again. So yeah, I feel like this is just a reminder to be appreciative of the physical vessel that you have that has taken you so far, and that is you know, being this reliable companion, allowing you to do all of these things that you are doing. But also I feel like this is a little nod towards, again, your intuition, or this little intuitive voice within you that speaks to you and that helps you to navigate life. Because yeah, I feel like it is such a huge help to you, and I feel like it has been such a huge help to you in guiding you towards the most aligned things for you. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, pal number 1. Thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. I hope that this reading resonated with you, or that it gave you something useful, something helpful, or that it was at the very least entertaining to watch. And as always, I am so grateful for all of your support, and I hope to see you very soon back on this channel. Take care. Bye bye. Hello and welcome to your reading pile number 2. My name is Helen and I am so excited to do this reading for you, and thank you so much for being here. Now, you chose the octopus card, and we also have some pre-prepared oracle cards which are going to give us a clearer understanding of what it is that you are currently dealing with or what sort of energy you are in. But we are going to look at those a bit later, because first I want to see what I am intuitively picking up from this octopus card. So the thing that I am feeling here most strongly is multitasking. You know, just sort of having to be everywhere at once and do everything at once. It feels very busy. It feels very hectic. It feels kind of all over the place, but at the same time, it feels like you are managing it, pile number 2. In some miraculous way, you are managing it. It feels like you kind of have to do everything for everyone or fill every role that you could possibly think of. It's like, you know, if you have kids, then you have to take care of them and manage everything for them and make sure that everything is running smoothly and everything is taken care of. And then if you also have a spouse or just a partner, then maintaining the relationship with them, but then also having to look after your home, having to look after any sort of responsibilities that or just like day-to-day mundane things, right, that go alongside just being alive, and then also like work stuff, you know? So it feels like there is just so much that you are handling and doing, and it's like you are kind of all over the place, and it does feel a bit like, you know, exhausting. I feel like it is kind of weighing you down already. I feel like you can already kind of feel the effects of this busyness, but it feels like for the time being, it's just one of those periods of time, right? It's just one of those things, and it is going to pass. But I feel like it's something that has been kind of ongoing for quite a while now. I love the octopus, how the octopus has its mind sort of highlighted, or how there are all of these vibrant colors, which I'm not sure how well you will be able to see them. But there are all of these like bright colors that are lit up in the octopus's brain. And so, you know, the octopus in general is such an intelligent creature. And so that's why I feel like you are doing everything with such like ease, even though it is wearing you down, even though it is difficult internally to handle everything and to be everywhere at once. And, you know, again, I was just giving you examples. I'm not saying that all of you have to have children and a family and a job and everything like that. But just whatever sort of responsibilities or things that need managing and handling that you do have in your life, I feel like you are just sort of taking care of everything. And I also feel like you have been in a place where you have had to come up with a lot of solutions, or where you have had to do a lot of problem solving. Or there may possibly have been quite a few instances where, like, you know, things just start breaking down, or something doesn't work at home, or something needs replacing, something needs renovating, something needs repairing. And it just feels like it's kind of like this whole thing that has just been like piling on. But yeah, it seems like you are, as I said, it seems like you are handling it admirably, pile number 2. But at the same time, it feels a bit tiresome as well. So that is what I am feeling with just the intuitive messages part, pile number 2. But, you know, if you are kind of like on the fence about whether this pile is truly speaking to you or not, then stay tuned for this oracle card portion, because we are going to get some more details about what it is that you are currently dealing with. So let's see. We have the Hound, loyalty, chains, promises. We have power lines and energy. We have an intuitive card. We have be authentic. And we have the Dancer, self-expression, strength. Yeah, let's start with the first card out. So we have this loyalty, chains, and promises. And I do feel like at this time, you could be dealing with a lot of situations where you have made promises or where you have certain arrangements that you need to keep or uphold, or again, things that you need to manage. As I said, it feels like there is so much on your plate right now that that you can't really ignore or shirk off. And it feels like even if you wanted to, you really wouldn't be able to, because of this innate need to sort of keep your promises or to show up and be this like reliable, trustworthy person. I feel like it's something that is very deeply ingrained in you. So even though you are somewhat like suffering silently on the inside, even though, as I said, it seems to be getting to you, you seem to be locking in and just doing what needs to be done. No like moaning, no whining, nothing like that. You seem to just be doing what is needed of you. We also have this power lines and energy card. And so it does feel like you are very much powered up right now, or you are using a lot of your power, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of resources that you have. It seems to be kind of all in for this time being. This is just a further confirmation that you are in a very sort of high strung or high energy period of time right now, where there are a lot of sort of demands and things are kind of a bit difficult to handle, or things are maybe not as easy flowing as they could be. And we have that sort of confirmation here, at least that's what I'm feeling, that this card makes me feel of like these unexpected problems that you couldn't see coming and that you sort of have to deal with somehow. You could be facing some, I don't know, some disappointments, or even if they are not necessarily disappointing in like an emotional sense, it feels like there are just so many of these sudden realizations or sudden situations that arise, things that you didn't really account for and things that you didn't prepare for, and you sort of have to make up the solutions on the go, or you have to come up with what to do on the go. So yeah, as I said, it definitely feels like you are using your brain a lot, you're using your mind a lot, you're using all of the skill set that you have. And again, for some reason, it feels like you are doing it by yourself, or like you don't have that much help around you. You seem to be sort of doing the brunt of the work, or carrying the load. And I'm not saying that you are like, fixing everything that needs fixing yourself and things like that. It just feels like whatever sort of situations arise, you are the one who has to like make the decisions, think of a solution, or come up with a plan, or do the organizational parts, or talk to whoever you need to talk to in order to get things done, or to get things sorted, things like that. It feels like you are so highly attached in like a mental or cerebral way. And now we get to these two cards, and I feel like those two kind of go together, because we have this be authentic, self-expression, and strength. And I'm even loving that we have all of these different masks, and all of these different masks have different colors on them, exactly like we do have on this octopus card. So it feels like you are not really letting people know how much of a struggle this has become for you, or that you are possibly getting tired, because we have this keyword strength on this dancer card, which I'm not sure you will be able to see. Let me try and show you. So strength, and clearly you are very, very strong. You are doing admirably, pile number 2. But at the same time, with the self-expression and be authentic, it's like you are taking on all of these different roles, but you are not necessarily opening up about the toll that this is truly taking on you. Or I feel like you don't really want to worry anyone, and you don't really want to put pressure on anyone. So it's just like you have this mentality of like, it's just easier if I do it, and someone needs to do it, or someone needs to be the sort of the stone or the pillar that people can rely on, or that people can trust. You may actually have Capricorn placements, or at least I'm feeling very heavy Capricorn energy coming through from this reading. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm just putting it out there in case someone out there resonates with it, and you know, it may be another way for you to confirm that this is your message. But yeah, I feel like I don't really have anything else to say. That's all that's kind of coming through. So let's get to the main bit of this reading now, which is the tarot portion. And if you could resonate with this part, if you recognized yourself in this, then make sure to keep on watching, because now we are going to look at what it is that you have been waiting for that is about to arrive. So let's see. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords, we have the Queen of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. With the Queen of Wands, we have some Aries energy coming through, but this can talk about Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Any fire sign could be significant. And we also have the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I definitely feel that you are going to be moving towards a more sort of quiet or a more peaceful time now, because we have the Six of Swords that came out first. And this is one of those cards that always indicates that you are moving away from some sort of turmoil or from some sort of strife, and you are moving towards calmer waters. It feels like this very hectic, very draining energy or period of time is going to be coming to an end. So there is respite that you are moving towards. And I feel that we have this Queen of Wands energy, which seems to be talking about you. I feel like this is your energy, pile number 2. And you don't have to be female in order to resonate with this. It just feels like, again, like you have been in this very strong, powerful, resilient, reliable space where, you know, you've just used a lot of your energy, a lot of your skill set, a lot of your fire to get things done. And I feel like you are moving towards a place where you kind of can recharge your batteries a bit, or get yourself back to this sort of a very highly functional place. Because, see, we have the Seven of Wands that also came out. This is talking about you moving away from this place where you have kind of had sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. Where you have kind of had to stand up for all of these things, and where there have been all of these different, again, either demands on you, or where you have just had to like put out a lot of fires at once and kind of do it solo. Now, with these 3 cards coming out together, it feels like with the Six of Swords, you are moving away from that. You are leaving this place of constantly being like vigilant, or constantly having to pay attention to what else is sort of thrown on your path and what else you have to solve or deal with. That sort of energy seems to be calming down now. So it feels like you can kind of get back to this more calm place, and where you can kind of focus more on your own things, where you don't have to take care of like everyone else's stuff as well. So yeah, it seems like you can kind of pull the focus back a bit, where you don't have to be like omnipresent, or you don't have to take care of all of these different things that maybe don't necessarily have to do with you, but that you are somehow tied to, or that you have somehow promised to take care of. I feel like that sort of load is lessening for you. And at the bottom of the deck, we have this Page of Cups, which I feel like is, again, it feels like a representation of this softer time, or again, this time where you can kind of recharge or recuperate in a way, because of this, I don't know why I'm feeling that with the Page of Cups. I don't normally feel that, but this seems to be describing this period of time where you can kind of more so be with yourself, where you can tune into your well-being, your emotions, and just kind of do this like scan or this check-in with yourself to see how you are holding up and what is even going on with you, because I feel like you just haven't had the time to do that, to actually have this check-in with yourself, to even take some time for yourself to just be. This feels more of like a calm, peaceful time, this more relaxing time. And again, this time with yourself where you can just sort of be with yourself at peace, you know, and possibly allow for some more like softer, more creative parts of you to come forth for a change. But this Page of Cups can also indicate that, you know, someone is going to be offering their help to you, or someone is going to be like reaching out to you, or sharing some kind words, or sharing some appreciation, or maybe even sharing some just support, letting you know that they are there for you should you want their help or want their support. As I said, it feels like things are kind of easing up for you, pile number 2, and that you are going to be able to focus more on your own stuff so that you could get yourself back to this most sort of vibrant and lively and best functioning version of you. Okay, the last message I just want to point out, because I am feeling it, but it feels more of a specific one. It feels like some of you have been waiting for some sort of like conflict resolution or an apology or something. I feel like that is coming. With this Page of Cups and the 7 of Wands, it feels like someone who has been possibly very, very defensive, or yeah, something like that. It feels like this sort of conflict resolution is coming, or things are moving ahead with this person, especially with the 6 of Swords. It feels like you are able to leave some sort of conflict behind. So I already stopped filming, but I just wanted to put this message across, because as I was starting to gather up the cards, I saw the 6 of Swords, and I just got the message that some of you could also be able to travel or take that trip somewhere that you have wanted to, or that you were planning, but that for some reason you couldn't confirm, or you couldn't plan like 100%, because either like some pushback, or maybe you weren't sure whether you were able to do it because of everything else that you sort of need to manage. And I just wanted to put that confirmation out there, that I feel like it seems to be something that you are able to do. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. But anyway, that's it. But again, that feels more of a specific message, so I'm just going to leave it there. But let's also look at what else do you need to know about this incoming energy. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles. Oh, the 4 of Swords. What did I say? Oh wow, we have 2 cards. Okay, what did I say about like recuperation or respite? Like that type of energy was coming through so strongly with the Page of Cups for some reason. And now we have the 4 of Swords that came out. So anyway, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we have the Page of Pentacles, we have the 4 of Swords, we have the 4 of Wands that came out in reverse, and the Magician in reverse as well. So with the Magician, we have some Gemini and Virgo energy coming through. And we also have Temperance at the bottom of the deck, which is Sagittarian energy. Okay, so I want to start off with the Temperance card, because this is this beautiful energy of healing. And I do feel like, again, things are sort of transitioning now, where you are able to sort of come out of this very hectic place, and you are able to move to a more tranquil, more peaceful, and more sort of resting or relaxing space. So definitely healing on the cards for you, or at least some time off where things are not as crazy and not as demanding. Now, we also have the Page of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords. And as I said with the 4 of Swords, I feel like this is just this confirmation of a time of being able to just shut down your mind, shut off this like highly functioning part of you that has to constantly problem solve and constantly come up with solutions. That is this part of you that you are going to be able to have a break in. So you can kind of rest your mind for a bit, I feel like, because with the Page of Pentacles, it seems like someone is coming in with some sort of offer. Either they are going to propose that they sort of like take over with something for a while, or that at least they seem to be willing to invest their energy into whatever some of these like responsibilities of yours are, or whatever it is that you are handling. So it's almost like you are going to be able to share some of these burdens with someone else. Or with the Page of Pentacles, this can also indicate that someone like offers you the opportunity to either, I don't know, take a day for yourself, maybe have a spa day or something. I don't know, that feels that feels possibly random, but yeah, it feels like someone could be allowing you to use your energy in a different way and sort of stepping up to the task, or taking some of these tasks on themselves. But because we're dealing with this page energy, it feels like it's something like small. It doesn't feel like they are taking on like the full responsibility, or that you are sort of giving up all of these tasks that you have been doing. It feels like you are giving up some, and these things that are sort of easily like that you can easily delegate, that don't require too much like responsibility, or that are not very high stakes, if that makes sense. So it feels kind of like these more like mundane day-to-day things, possibly some things around the house, or some things with, again, kids if you have them. It feels like you are able to delegate some of these things to someone else who can help out. So I don't know, just to give you like a random example, like if let's say that you have kids, right, and you have all of these other things that you need to also take care of, and then let's say that you're like your parents or your spouse's parents or something like that get in touch with you and tell you that they can, I don't know, look after the kids for a while, or that they would like to have some sort of like road trip with them or something like that, where you can kind of, you know, give something off of your plate for a time. That's what I'm feeling. So we also have the Magician and the Four of Wands that both came out in reverse. And I actually love the Magician in reverse for you guys, because again, it feels like, you know, being this superhuman thing that you have been doing, that is something that you are going to be kind of stepping out of for the time being, because obviously it seems like you are reaching some sort of limit, or you are very close to reaching that sort of limit. And with the Four of Wands in reverse, again, it feels like you are putting down responsibilities that are somehow tied to other people, or that are tied to your family, or that are basically not your own stuff to deal with. So this feels like a nice change of pace. And so I also feel like saying that during this time, there could be a slowing down of some projects or things that you have been sort of pushing forward, especially with the Magician. It feels like some sort of thing, some sort of project, some sort of task or goal that you have been working towards. I feel like that is going to be like kind of put on hold as well, or there seems to be a slowing down of energy in that. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. I feel like you are still going to get there, but you are just sort of taking it a bit more easy. And so it's not going to be this like fast-paced, direct movement towards this milestone that you have. But because the Four of Wands is here, I feel like you are definitely going to get to that milestone. And with the Magician too, but it just feels like it's going to be sort of put on pause for a while. So that's just something to also be mindful of. But I want to close the reading out with an oracle card message. And I'm using this little frog deck again because it's so sweet, and I love these cute affirmations that we have here. So I'm using this deck again, and we are looking at any advice that Spirit has for you. So let's see. I cannot believe that you got this card. Let's see if anything else turned over, but I don't think that it did. Yeah, no, it didn't. I cannot believe that you got this card, because this is too perfect for you. But I'm going to read the underlying energy first. We have, I am willing and excited to grow and learn. Yeah, I feel like you are going to be doing some learning as well, but I feel like it's a different kind of learning. And I feel like it's something that allows you to find like better ways of managing things, or possibly learning some like boundaries within yourself, or certain limits within yourself. I feel like you are going to discover like healthier ways to manage your resources, to manage your energy and time. And it's most likely going to also become easier for you to start delegating things down the line, again, where you don't necessarily take everything on by yourself. So yeah, I mean, with the Page of Pentacles, this can also indicate that you are going to be doing a lot of learning, but like a different kind of learning as you tune out, learning as you chill, learning as you allow yourself to rest. And as I said, this card is perfect because it says, I am allowed to rest without guilt. Yes, this is actually one of my favorite cards in this deck because it's perfect. And I mean, we're all guilty of sometimes pushing ourselves too hard because we just feel like we have to do a lot in order to earn this space or this time where we feel like we can relax. But I mean, doing nothing is something that is so vital for our overall well-being and general like quality of life. So yeah, this feels perfect, pile number 2. But I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully something resonated for you in this reading, or that if it wasn't useful or helpful, at the very least, I hope that it was entertaining to watch. And as always, I am so grateful for any support that you have shown to me and this little channel. So I really appreciate it. And of course, I am hoping to see you very soon back on this channel for more messages and more readings. So take care and bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen and I am so excited that you are here watching this reading with me. So thank you so much for being here. But let's get straight to it. You chose the Whale card, and we also have some pre-prepared oracle cards, which we are going to look at in just a bit, because first I want to tune into this card and see what I am picking up on intuitively. So I have to say, for some reason, I am feeling a bit melancholy as I look at this card, pile 3. And I am also getting a keyword of isolation or separation. It feels like you have been in this space where you could be feeling quite alone or solitary, like you don't really have anyone to connect with or anyone to open up to, anyone to share things with. Because it seems like with this Whale energy that you are kind of deep in your emotions, and you seem to be like really going through the shadowy bits, and maybe it's not even something that you are doing intentionally or willingly. It's kind of something that almost is just coming up, that it is pushing itself to the surface, and that you kind of can't help but have to deal with, because it's almost like I'm getting intrusive thoughts or intrusive feelings where you could be trying to just live your life normally or do things normally, and no matter what you do, you get these thoughts or you get these negative emotions, and they seem to come seemingly out of nowhere. But I feel like it's actually things that are somewhere in your subconscious, or somewhere that are like deeply buried somewhere that haven't been acknowledged or dealt with for quite some time. So you could be getting quite a lot of like things that your mind is dredging up from the past. Yeah, like these mental images, or some memories, or even you could even be getting like, I don't know, you could be walking down the street and then you randomly smell something that reminds you of something from your childhood, or reminds you of something from the past, and it like instantly takes you back to that place, or instantly reminds you of that person. I don't know, perfume for some reason is coming through quite strongly. Also, like any songs or any sounds, there could be something that like just takes you back. And again, it feels like it's almost involuntary. It seems to be something that you don't want to experience, because I'm also looking at all of these like colors, and there is a lot of black, there is a lot of this darkness, and then there's a lot of blue, and so it feels like it's not actually enjoyable to go through at all. It doesn't seem to be something that, it's definitely not easy, pile number 3. But at the same time, with all of this yellow on the other end of it, I feel like as you are bringing these things to the surface and as you are sort of analyzing these things or going through them and seeing what like feelings crop up for you and trying to figure out why you are feeling these things or why you are thinking these things, possibly even sort of rehashing something from the past and seeing how you may see things differently now, maybe even see your own like behavior or the actions that you took or the words that you chose or something like that. You could be going through all of these past experiences or past decisions and sort of seeing them in a whole new way. So it almost feels like this whole thing that you are going through and all of these feelings and thoughts that you are experiencing, it feels like it is a lot. It feels like it's very overwhelming and it is difficult. But at the same time, I feel like you are learning so much and you are growing so much. And as a result of this, you seem to be purging a lot as well, making it a lot easier for yourself to rid yourself of some of these things that have been burdening you without you even realizing that they are burdening you. Because I feel like some of these things you haven't thought of for years and years and years. And now randomly they come up and they almost like remind you of certain things that you thought you had made peace with, but now they are coming back around again. And so it's almost like you are healing and growing and developing. And it seems to be like growing pains, like something to do with growing pains. That's what I'm feeling here. But anyway, this was just the intuitive part, pile number 3. And if you are somewhat still iffy about whether this is your reading or not, then stay tuned for this oracle card portion, because we are going to look at what sort of energy you are currently in. And hopefully as you are listening to these messages, it will be a lot easier for you to determine whether you are watching the right pile. We have the Sailor, New Influences, Wanderlust. We have Crown, Personal Power. We have an intuitive card. We also have Create and Progress. And we have the Pathless, Difficult Decisions, Lack of Direction. Okay, pile number 3. I have to say that out of all of the piles, yours seems to be sort of the most complex, and there is a lot going on here. But I want to start off with the first card here, which is New Influences and Wanderlust. And I'm kind of looking at the waves here, and it's really interesting that we are getting this motive of like the sea or the ocean or something like that, because it definitely feels like you are going through it when it comes to like this emotional turbulence, I should say. But with New Influences and Wanderlust, I feel like this is kind of this confirmation of you starting to see things in a new light, even though there are things that you are, again, going through that you have already lived through. So I feel like it's not anything new necessarily that you are focused on. This seems to be looking back on the past. And I kind of want to jump ahead here to like this image, because this is literally making me think of your inner child and how, you know, this little child is dressed up in a costume, but they also have a briefcase. And it's almost like they are in a position where they sort of have responsibilities, or where they are more like mature, but at the same time, there is something like this inner child within them, their true self, that is, that is asking for attention, or that is asking to be heard. It feels like it's being elevated here as well, as it's like standing on this like red cube or whatever. So that's why I feel like there is a heavy influence of the past at play. With this personal power, it feels like you are taking a lot of accountability at this time, or you are sort of going through, again, you are going through these past experiences, and as you are looking at them in possibly like a new light or a new through a new lens, you are actually building up this sense of like inner strength or like inner power because of how you are reframing things in your mind, and how, again, how you are like taking accountability for certain things. For some reason, that word seems very significant too. So you were actually building yourself up as you were doing this. And we also have this create and progress. Now, this feels like you could be doing something in order to express yourself, in order to get some of these emotions out so that you wouldn't have to, you know, just sit with them. And even though this is clearly depicting like an art project or something like that, it doesn't mean that you have to be doing something artsy. It could be really anything. It could even be like exercise. It could be something just physical like that. It could be taking walks in nature or getting more in touch with like this natural side of life, or just writing, I don't know, composing, anything like that. It could really be any single way that you feel like you want to express yourself. It could even be like dancing, singing, or getting things out of you. I feel like that is very, very potent here, and it's something that allows you to actually like not get too swallowed up by these emotions. So it seems like you are channeling these emotions in some way, or you are doing something with what it is that you are feeling, all of these thoughts, all of this like overwhelming wave that you seem to find yourself in right now. And finally, with the pathless, difficult decisions and lack of direction, it does seem like you could be feeling like you're kind of just floating, you know, like you are aimlessly drifting and trying to just kind of deal with whatever is on the surface for you right now, with whatever it is that you are dealing with. And you don't really seem to have too much time or too much space for taking on new things, or worrying about like practical things. I feel like you are still doing those things. I feel like you are still functioning, but it's just something that you are kind of doing almost like on autopilot, because you just don't have the resources left with everything else that you are handling and everything else that you are trying to sift through. And it feels like it's so overpowering. But at the same time, this period is kind of necessary. You kind of have to go through that right now, and you can't really bypass this period of time where things are sort of almost like on hold, or they are still, and you are forced to look back on the past and sift through all of these things that are coming to the surface for you right now. Because again, it feels like it's such a vital step in order for you to move on in a more, like, again, in a more healthy or more strong or more wholesome way, because this stuff needs to be purged. It needs to be gotten out of the system. And so it feels like it's kind of taking up all of your time and energy right now. It seems to be something that is like this whole all-encompassing thing, this whole all-encompassing influence on your life right now. But anyway, if you can resonate with this, if you recognize this with what is going on with you right now, then this is most likely your story. And stay tuned, because we are now going to turn our focus to some tarot cards and looking at what it is that is about to arrive that you have been waiting for. Ooh, wow. Okay. So, beautiful. I love all of the major arcana cards that we're getting for you, pile number 3. So the first card out is the Chariot, which is a card of Cancer. And I'm just going to point out the signs in case you resonate with them. We also have the Ace of Swords, and we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is tied to both Pisces and Sagittarius once again. So pile number 3, I love seeing all of these cards for you. And I have to say, because of all of these major arcana that are coming through, it's clear that what I said before is very much at play here. And with these major arcana, it's important to realize that this period of time that you are in right now is necessary for your soul growth. This is something that you, as I said, you can't bypass. It's something that you have to go through, and it is for your highest good, because there is a lot of healing and there is a lot of like leveling up that is on the other side of it. And I feel like as you go through this reframing or this reprogramming or these inner processes that you are in right now, pile number 3, you are going to be able to accept much more joy into your life from here on out, and just feel more peace, feel more fulfilled than you have been previously. Now, I want to start off with the underlying energy, because we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is like one of the most auspicious cards that you can get from the Major Arcana, because when this card comes out upright, it is saying that luck is turning towards you, that things are going to be turning out in your favor, and things are starting to move again. So as we were talking about this whole period of like stagnation, or things possibly not really moving, and you being in this like stillness or this space that feels, overwhelming and overbearing. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is clearly talking about the divine sort of stepping in and getting things moving again. And I feel like things are going to start easing up for you. So, this whole period, I feel like you are through like the roughest parts of it. You are through the thick of it, and you are sort of coming out the other side now, because we also have this Chariot that came out, and Chariot is also a card of success, as is, by the way, the Ace of Swords. So both of these cards are indicating that you are going to be progressing and you're going to be leveling up, especially with the Chariot. This is an indication that you are leaving something behind that you have outgrown, and you are leveling up. You are moving towards a triumphant goal or destination where, through like sheer willpower and inner strength and force, you are able to come through a very like unsteady or challenging time. With the Chariot and these two Sphinxes, there is this influence of like having opposing forces or being pulled in two different directions, and having a lot of these challenging opposing energies that you sort of have to rein in and push through in order to find a solution. And with the Ace of Swords, that solution is definitely coming. So you are going to be getting some sort of clarity. You are going to be getting some sort of truth or peace or understanding that brings in a lot of healing for you, that brings in some form of like peace and calm, because we have this Temperance here, and this is like the ultimate card of healing. This is things sort of becoming a lot more manageable for you. So again, through this whole turbulent, stormy time that you have been in, this whole emotionally overflowing time that has been difficult to manage, with Temperance, it feels like things are balancing out. Things are coming back to equilibrium, and you are able to find this sense of peace, find this sense of tranquility. And again, it's like you are coming out of the depths of it. You are coming out of the extremes of what you have been going through, and you were able to leave that troubling, difficult place that you have been in behind. And I feel like it's such a big deal. And again, I feel like this is such a huge point of growth for your soul, because this thing is touching something deeper within you. This is not like this surface level, like nostalgia or just like reminiscing or looking back on the past and thinking about things. This is like some deep soul work that you are doing. So as I said, it feels like you are reframing or reprogramming your mind and your perspective. So from going through this tunnel that you have been in and that you are in right now, you are coming out on the other side of it, and you are starting to see things in a whole new way as a result of it. And this is such a huge learning curve for you, which again, I feel like is going to set you up for a lot more like happiness and fulfillment and success and joy in the future. So yeah, this feels really, really significant, pile number 3. But let's look at what else you need to know about this incoming energy. Let's see if we can get any more insight. Wow, okay. I mean, I swear I shuffle these cards so much after every reading and then at the beginning. Obviously you see me shuffling as well, but still we are getting repeat cards. So it seems like some of these messages just need to come out. But we have the Three of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Wands, which is a card of Aries, but Leo and Sagittarius can also be significant. And we have the Tower, which is tied to more Aries and Scorpio. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I want to actually start off with the Tower because this has such a potent energy about it. And I feel like this new insight, this clarity that is coming is going to break down some old constructs that you have about yourself and that you have about like who you are and you know what sort of life you are living. It feels bigger. It feels like it has something to do with your identity or your sense of self or something like, you know, like a very deeply foundational part of you. And especially because we have the Three of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands here too, which, I mean, the Queen of Wands feels like it's talking about your energy, even though you don't have to be female in order to resonate with this energy. It just feels like with the Three of Pentacles, you are building a whole new sort of foundation, or a much more sturdy foundation for your sense of self. And again, how you show up in the world in general, what sort of decisions you make, how you express yourself. With the Queen of Wands, there is a lot of confidence and fire and power and charisma that is tied to this. It seems like you are gaining a lot in strength, and not just that, it feels like you are transforming how you relate to other people. It's clearly something very closely tied to your relationships, especially with the Three of Pentacles here, and how you relate to other people, how you show up for other people, how you behave in like collaborative situations. And you know, it can be in like a romantic sense, but it can also be in just like any other type of relationship as well. So it feels kind of this all-rounded thing that you are, again, like reframing for yourself. Or yeah, as I said, this feels very big. And also with the Tower, I feel like there is something about again, like yourself or your self-image that hasn't truly been aligned, or some of these things that you are now reconsidering, or you are like analyzing over and drawing these new conclusions on, or getting to these new insights. I feel like these old false constructs that you have had about yourself, it's like they need to be broken down. And so they could be, I feel like that's what this whole painful aspect is tied to with this Tower. That's why it's kind of difficult, or that's why this whole process is so difficult, because you are breaking down or destroying some of these beliefs that you had about yourself. And so it feels like some of these things could be quite shocking. Some of these revelations that you get, or these illuminations that you will arrive at, I feel like they will be quite shocking. But at the same time, again, it seems to be necessary in order to bring you to this Nine of Pentacles place, which is a very, very solid, very secure, very independent, very like sort of happy with where you are in life. And I feel like this is some place that you really, really want to get to, because even though you could have everything that you could ever want in life, but if you don't feel content internally, if you feel like something is missing, if you feel like you don't deserve it, if you feel, you know, that if there is something that is weighing heavy on you in some regard, then it is going to take away from you being able to be fully present with these blessings, or with this this good place that you could be in. And so with the Nine of Pentacles, it feels like you are being put through these challenging times so that you could arrive at a place where you can truly enjoy the life that you have created for yourself, and all of these different blessings that are going to be coming in for you, or that you are going to be creating for yourself in the future. And also with the Queen of Wands, just the last thing I want to say is that I feel like you are going to start loving yourself in a whole new way. I mean, the Queen of Wands is not just this like pure ego-driven or ego-based sense of confidence. This is coming from a true sense of self, that they know who they are, and they are comfortable with who they are, and they are proud of who they are, and they love everything about themselves, the warts and all. And so that's what makes them so attractive. That's what makes them so radiant and so magnetizing to other people. So I feel like that's what you are essentially transforming. And I feel like you are going to really love this sort of new version, or this lighter and more loving and more understanding version of you that is going to be emerging as you come out of this tunnel. So anyway, pile number 3, this reading feels so like heavy, like it has a deep pull. It feels like it wants to suck me into this energy. So I'm going to close the reading out with a lighter message, just to get you something sweet and something like affirmative to take away with you from this reading. So I'm using this cute little frog deck, which I absolutely love. I just used it recently in another reading, but I can't help myself. I love these little affirmation messages and this little frog. So yeah, hopefully we will get a really nice piece of advice from Spirit that will help to uplift this energy of this reading as well. Wow. Okay, you're getting so many cards, so I'm just going to take the top one. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Let's just go all in. Let's just take all of them. So at the bottom of the deck we have, I believe that good things will happen to me. So see, I feel like this is again part of this reframing of the mind, where as a result of purging and shedding some of these old negative influences, you are going to be again becoming more lighter, becoming more lighthearted and more optimistic. Because again, the wheel is turning in your favor, right? We had the Wheel of Fortune. Let's not forget about that, because that is significant. Now, but you got the card, I will let go of self-limiting beliefs. See, this is this tower moment that I feel that is occurring for you, where you are able to let go of these self-limiting beliefs. And again, with these butterfly wings, like you are rising up, you are elevating. So that seems to be such an important message here too. We have, I am allowed to rest without guilt. We also got this card for another pile. So again, I feel like this is just confirming from Spirit that this time of stillness and like non-movement, where you are just focusing on these internal processes, that is just as important as like progressing and doing things externally, right? Because we need both. We need both aspects of life. We also have, it's never too late to start over. I love this again, because as I said, you are transforming certain things, and most likely some of these things, involve relationships, and they involve, actually it feels like a lot bigger than that. It feels not just tied to like any specific life area. It feels again like it has ties to all of these different areas of life for you, where you are, it's like you are starting fresh in every sense of the word. So yeah, I really love that. And especially if you have been, beating yourself up or feeling, I don't know, remorseful, or feeling like you messed something up and you can't really go back to what you did, or or again, some of these things from the past that could be plaguing you, right? I feel like with this, it's never too late to start over. Spirit is confirming that you can have a new beginning, and you can always make things better. You know, it's never too late. We also have, I don't need to return to older versions of myself to satisfy people who aren't ready to see how I have changed. I love this for you because, yeah, you are changing, and you are changing for the better. And I mean, another thing which I feel is coming through with this card and this tower as well is that other people may be shocked about how you are changing or these new sides of you that are emerging. But again, I feel like it's all in alignment with your higher purpose. And finally, we have my body works so hard for me. So yeah, again, I feel like this is just a reminder to not take it out or not be frustrated with yourself, with your emotions, with your physical body as a result of it talking to you, or maybe even your body isn't working as it normally does or as you would like it to because of these emotional waves and outbursts and everything that you are sort of going through internally. So you could be experiencing your body almost like not breaking down necessarily, but just not working with you, in the sense that it could also be pushing you in a place where you have to slow down, where you don't have as much energy, where you feel more lethargic, or where you feel demotivated, or, it's like your body is also talking to you through not just like your emotions, but also like your energy levels and your overall like well-being and how everything functions. And I feel like even though you could be frustrated with that, or you could feel like, like your body is not collaborating with you, it's actually doing it for you. It's actually, forcing you to slow down so that you could go through this process quicker. But anyway, pile number 3, I am going to leave it here. I am so thankful that you chose to watch this reading and that you spent this time with me. Thank you so much. I truly hope that this reading spoke to you, or that it gave you something useful, helpful, or that it was at the very least entertaining to watch. And as always, I am so grateful for all of your support, for all of your comments and likes and subscribes, and every single way that you support me and this channel. It means so much to me. And I also hope to see you very soon back on this channel for more readings, more messages, and more insight. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Pile number 3, you've got this. And I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.